Hi everybody, welcome to week two. Um, this week we are looking at, first off, I want to go back and say I have added some information on the city training. If you'll complete that before the end of the semester, you're going to need that before your next section. So if you'll go ahead and complete that assignment, and then just upload your certificate when you're through with that training. And then we do have let me look on my other computer here. We do have a discussion post that's due for you to find a qualitative research of your choice and do a sort of a lit review on it. So I've added a rubrics in there to help guide you and ask you questions on a qualitative research of your choice. Okay, I believe it is due tomorrow, so I may extend that for a few more days. And so I'm going to go ahead and start talking about week two. There's a chapter from a qualitative study in the content that a colleague of mine, Dr. Rigoli, who's also a qualitative researcher, he talks about the process of during his research, and he used this is part of his dissertation, one of his chapters on methodology, and so I'll try to add some of mine as well. I did grounded theory, so I will add an example of my methodology as well. Um, we will talk a little bit later about that. So I hope you've had a chance or an opportunity to look over the first week's content and wanted to ensure that you have a good grounding or understanding of the differences in each approach and difference in qualitative and quantitative. It has been said that qualitative research is more art than science. However, there are systematic processes to go through to add vigor into that research. So this week you'll be looking at different examples, specifically about the literature review that you may want to consider, because some of the examples you see in the qualitative and narrative analysis can be used um, in finding themes throughout the sort of like a lit review. So you're using them in like a part of your lit review. So you're looking at lit review themes in each one of those articles that you find. So look at what has been posted, and I'll give you one small assignment. And I've already given it to you, the article analysis one. So let me know if you need an additional extension. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and extend it for a few more days. In week two, we'll be discussing the initial development of qualitative research and the narrative review of literature. So I've provided 6 examples to read. You'll have an article from a journal, the qualitative report. It's a little dated, but it explains qualitative research. And when you're doing your own research and lit review, please look at the articles within the last 10 years or so, so you'll see what's been accomplished in the field. And you can also look and see that, you don't want to recreate something that somebody else has already done. Um, so you're looking for the gaps. Where did they not look, or look at their future research recommendations, and look at limitations in the articles as well. That will give you an idea of where to maybe start with your research. I'll have to stop and tell you I did hurt my arm a little bit, but hopefully it'll be okay in a few days. But it's giving me a little tug here. All right, so let's see, where was I? So when you're doing your own research and your lit review, please look at articles like in the last 10 years. Like I said, you'll see what's been accomplished in that field, that maybe whatever you're interested in. And there's some seminal qualitative research that you can cite as well that are a lot older, like leaders in the field, like Cresswell and Shermaz. So you can use those type um, leaders in the field uh, in your methodology part to justify why you selected that that particular methodology. So there's an article there that we were talking about, the 2004 article. Um, that one speaks of qualitative research as a methodology. It goes through history, the essence of qualitative research, some recent developments in the systematic review of qualitative research. And what I really want you to pay close attention to is the idea um, uh, that the way he put his way forward for the narrative review. So read through this and look at their proposed methodology. You may find something helpful that you can adopt in your own study. They provide also a sort of a checklist here, or starting points that you can reference as a reflection on qualitative studies and its usefulness. So take notes on this if you're thinking of using this methodology. Some important questions to consider is how does the researcher how is the researcher being transparent about who they are, where they're coming from, what their background is, their prejudices, biases, and beliefs, and how is the study presented? Okay, so the next couple of weeks, let's see, we're looking at narrative studies. So this paper um, and these examples will give you a good overview and definitions. There's another article. It's the Patterson article on workarounds in health information technology. So it's more recent, from a professor at Ohio State. Um, and this is in the Journal of Human Factors and is a narrative review of human factors in engineering literature. So they're looking at work and the intended use of health information. So it gives you a background on the use of those workarounds and why there's a need and what the methodology is that they have incorporated. Look at how they identify the three main themes. I'd like for you to also take note of all the articles and how the researchers put forth their themes, main contributions of their key articles, and how it was presented. And then there's a template provided for you to use and talk about narrative analysis. But it's still a lit review, not just a narrative analysis. So it's using a narrative analysis approach to identify themes that's been found in lots of articles. So that one used around 24 key articles, and maybe 80 topic articles were used in their narrative review. And now Dr. Rigoli's excerpt of his methodology chapter of his dissertation specifically talks about how he identified themes and what he did in the first couple of chapters and why he selected the narrative research for the analysis portion. So his theoretical framework was based around an American philosopher on social theory, John Dewey, and Fardin Prusak as lens for his research. And then he talks about Cresswell as well for justifying why he chose that methodology. So those type citations will be a lot older than 10 years, okay, or it could be. Cresswell does have some newer updates to his text, which you are using one of them. Okay, so there's articles on another narrative study on the attitudes of students toward plagiarism. There's a guide to conducting standalone systematic lit review, which and the first assignment, which you have already started, The discussion question is to review the qualitative research of your choice, like I said earlier. Using the rubrics provided, post your findings and discuss with your other doctoral peers. Um, okay, so that's it for now, and I'll see you soon. If you have any questions, as usual, please shoot me an email or we can set up a Teams meeting.